Welcome to the Loveable as Fuck show with Sherry Yazzie. I am a plus-size Indigenous woman in a world that tells me not to love myself. I fucking do. Here's how I do it. For more on how to defuck yourself, love yourself, and my emotional resiliency magnifying, life-transforming mindset hacks and self-care tools that you need to know now in order to transform your life and be happy as fuck, go to beloveableaf.com. That's BELOVEABLEAF.com. How to be your authentic self. I'm excited about this topic. This is one of those things people always say, if you're in sales or you're selling a course or whatever, be your most authentic self. That's how you draw in the right audience. Or, it's like if you're looking for relationships, really be yourself, because that's how you find the people who, your ideal partner. But how do you actually fucking do it, right? Like, okay, cool. We get that being our authentic selves is the goal, but how do we fucking do it? Because there's all different parts of me. I like this and I like this and I like this, right? There's no easy place to put yourself unless you've put yourself in that box. If you're in that box, you know what I'm fucking talking about. You've covered up your light. You're getting smaller and smaller. You're feeling more and more constricted, like someone's choking you. They have their arms or hands around your neck. And you're just exhausted and fucking over everything. Just sick of it. That is not your authentic self, right? If you're here, you're like, I'm a badass woman, I'm a badass mom, I got shit to do in this world, and I'm fucking here for it. So first things, depending on if you're in that box, right? How do you get out of the box? How do you break free? You think about that, Queen song, I want to break free. I want to break free, right? Yes, I'm singing just because it tickles me. You guys are like, it hurt my ears. I know I'm not good at it, but it's something I love to do, so I do it on a really regular basis. My son is always like, could you not sing? I would like to hear the actual song, not you. I get a kick out of it. Okay, so back to it. If you're in that box and you want to break free, well, first off, let's ask the question. Do you want to break free? Do you? Why do we get in the box? Why do we climb in there? We're rewarded for it. We get payoffs for it. Yes, are there costs? Abso-fucking-lutely. But we are rewarded for being in the box, for being ladylike, let's say, for being, whatever it is, whatever. It's not like we just climbed in the box for the, shits and giggles. We climbed in the box because it was expected of us, because it was rewarded. And breaking out of it is scary. It's not something that is just like, boom, I'm out and woohoo. Because when I broke out of my box, literally, I had people who showed up and adored me and people who showed up and hated me. Some of the people in my life, they fucked right off because they were not okay with me out of the box. They really liked me in the box. And that's painful. So this is not without costs. Being your authentic self is not without costs. Especially if you've been turning yourself into a pretzel for men to like you or women to like you or to have friends or to be that perfect mom. When you stop being that pretzel and you start going for something you're committed to, that you're excited about, guess what life's going to do? Possibly your partner, your kids, they're going to be like, oh, you're fucking it all up and it's all your fault. Everything in this household that's not working now, it's all because of you. That's going to happen. I mean, maybe you'll be one of the lucky ones and people are wildly responsible for themselves and how they feel. And then they're going to be like, wow, I can really support you in this. And if so, great. But here's the thing. Being our authentic selves is scary. It's hard. And it's something that takes a lot of practice, a lot of fucking balls. All right. I mean, it's funny, think about balls and they're so tender. And, it's like, whereas a vagina can really take some pounding. So it takes a lot of vagina to be your authentic self. because people are going to be repelled by you. So you think of it, this is the way I like to think of it, is you're no longer going to be everybody's cup of tea. And by everybody, I mean people you care about in your life. I mean friends, family. You're not going to be their cup of tea anymore. They're not going to like what you're doing, what you're saying, and how you're showing up. You're going to be one hell of a shot of whiskey, though. Someone who loves a good whiskey is going to like, wow, I love this. I never want to drink anything else again. And that right there is where that yummy, amazing love from other people shows up. Like where they're just like, I am all in with you. And there will be some people who are all out. And I'm not, for family, people who are really close to you, they adjust, right? Because they do love you. But when you first start showing up differently, sometimes it creates a pretty big problem. I was in a Facebook group and a woman just said, my husband just told me that all of the problems in our house are because I'm going back to school. And she was heartbroken. Is it true that all the problems in her house are because she went back to school? No, not at all. Is it true that maybe she was doing way more than she should have been fucking doing from the beginning? Probably. Is it true that it's probably better for those people in her life if she's not? So that they can get the skill sets to show up, manage their feelings, deal with the stuff? Yes, absolutely. Right? But this is the path, though, of being your authentic self, honestly. So the first question is, do you want to get out of the box? Is the box uncomfortable enough that you are like, fuck it, yes, I'm ready to be the shot of whiskey, even if it gets bumpy. I'm ready. Let's fucking go. Then yes, awesome. I have some steps for you in a second. If you're like, I'm still in the box and, I've kind of made it cozy in the box and yeah, I can't stand up fully and yeah, I'm being choked, but I can live here for a while. That's okay. But just know that inside the box, I could never experience the kind of love that I wanted because I wasn't even loving myself at that point because I wasn't even truly being me. Right? When you love yourself, you want to be you, fully you out there in the world. And I was in this big deficit, I love deficit. I really wanted to be loved so bad. I craved it with every fiber of my being. But I stayed in the box. What had me get out of the box was actually my calling. It was like this knocking on my head, knock, 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 knock. And it started to get painful. And because I knew I was supposed to be helping women. I knew it. I knew I was supposed to be helping moms. I was supposed to be helping them shift so much that it actually affects the next generation. So that these kids get to grow up without so much of unfucking that they have to do. And I was like, okay, I knew it. I could feel it. I knew there were women in pain that I could help. Like, was I perfect? Because I was still in the goddamn box. Yeah. But had I figured out some things? For sure. And it was that feeling of, I have to. I need to show, also, this was another part of it, my son, what it looks like to live from a mission, from a purpose, from actually creating meaning in your life. I needed to show him. I needed it. It's when I finally broke the fuck out of the box. And it was painful. It definitely caused new dynamics in our relationship. And anytime you get new dynamics in a relationship, there's going to be some bumps, some issues. I've never seen it go way smooth. And maybe it's because I'm really extreme and intense. So someone who can kind of do it a little bit at a time, maybe there's not bumps. But me, I'm intense. It's all or nothing, baby. Not really, but seriously, I do take action pretty fast and pretty intensely. And so I tend to have bumps. So that first question is that. And just start percolating if you want to be in the box. That's okay. You can use this podcast, you can use the information that I'm teaching to help you to still feel better in the box. It's possible to feel a little bit better in the box because guess what? As you feel a little bit better, you're more likely to pop out of your box, right? Like the Jack in the Box. I'm here, bitches! So, I recommend keep listening And if this is like, if you are ready to pop out of the box, or you've popped out of the box and you're like, I totally get all the things you're saying, this is harder than I thought it would be, and you want that extra support, I highly, highly encourage you to go to the link in the description here, because that course is 30 days of nonstop support, shifting your beliefs, in, helping to reinforce that choosing of your authentic self, and really getting clear on what it is that you want, with the support and unfucking your beliefs all at the same time. So it's a great, honestly, it's like my masterpiece to the world for all of those moms who are in pain, that like the same kind of pain that I was in. I knew I needed to do this. It was calling to me. It wouldn't let me stay in the box. All right. So then the next question, assuming you're ready to get out of the box, or you're out of the box, this is the question that you ask yourself. Because sometimes you like, authentic self, well, I don't know. I like this and I like that, Just stop and ask, how do I want this to go? How do I want to show up here? How would I like to feel today? How would I like to feel tomorrow? How would I like to feel in this relationship? How would I like to feel in my house? How would I like to feel in my relationship with my kids? How do I want to show up? How do I want it to be? And then as you kind of start listening to this, start feeling into it, it's always good to double check. Is this really me, or is this some programming still left over from before, from parents or society or whatever it is, putting pressure on you to be the perfect anything? If it ever feels like perfect anything, that's not correct. Because our authentic self, I do not know any one authentic self that is perfect. Because our imperfections, see, and I even said it imperfectly. Our imperfections are oh my goodness, see? Our imperfections are part of what makes us so beautiful, of what makes life so beautiful. We are not all one and the same. We are not all robots. We are our own beautiful, imperfect selves, living and expressing. And that's what creates that yummy fucking life. That's how you be your authentic self. Is accepting the imperfections too, the weaknesses, doubling down on your strengths, absolutely tripling down on those motherfuckers, and being who you choose to be. Maybe you are like, you know what? My whole life, I have felt like I needed to look pretty. I needed to look pretty to be okay. And you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I am going to do what feels good. I am going to change my style. I am going to, whatever it is, what would feel good. You're like, for this month, am not putting on anything but stretchy pants, because that's what I fucking want to do. And enjoying it, getting down into there, right? And then other people are going to be like, oh, can I join the stretchy pants revolution? And then boom, there's a big revolution of stretchy pants. Because you are being authentic and true to you, true to what you want, true to what's driving you, right? Now, or maybe you're like, you know what? I've kind of been in this mom thing that I'm always run down and all the other moms are run down. But you know what? I actually could carve out a half an hour every single day to take good care of my fucking self. And that's what I want to fucking do. And then all of a sudden, you're one of those moms that starts glowing. That other moms are like, what are you doing? That might be your thing too. But it's starting with this question. What do you want? How do you want it to go? How do you want to show up? How do you want to be? So for me, one of the big things in my relationship with my husband is I no longer wanted to have my okayness live over there. And I no longer wanted to try to help him and make him okay. And so I stopped. Literally one day I was like, okay, you know what? I'm not even going to ask him about it. I'm not even going to spend time on it. I'm just going to let him do his fucking thing. I'll love him from over here. And he can just do whatever the fuck he wants. And I mean that. I mean literally, I don't worry about him cheating or talking to other women, or that's his deal. Would there be consequences in our marriage if that stuff happened? Absolutely. Would I not be okay with it? Absolutely. But I don't have to worry about it anymore because that's his goddamn integrity and that's for him to figure out, not me. So when I stopped doing that, it's like, well, okay, so what kind of relationship do I want? How do I want it to be? And I wanted to be supported. I wanted to be loved and cherished. And I wanted a partner who stood up and said what he wanted and communicated what he wanted without me ever having to ask. And so then I communicated those things. Hey, this is what I would like. This is how I would like it to go. This is the kind of man I want to be with. And I walked the fuck away. I let him figure out how he was going to do that or not do it. I let him figure out how he wanted to be in this relationship. And now we're creating this relationship where we're both showing up as how we want to be in the relationship and then figuring out how we can work that out together. And our marriage has never been better. I mean, we've been together, actually. We will be married 20 years this October, but we've worked together 3 years before that. So we've been together a long time. And it's never been better. And it's not an accident. Because I decided what I wanted a relationship to look like, what I needed from a relationship. And I let go of the attachment of how it would happen, of him doing it. I just trusted that it would work out. And if it didn't, that would be an okay thing too. And it was like this amazing thing. And I will tell you, even with my business, I've been same kind of way I was being in my relationship, where before I was trying to get everything and do it all, and I'm really attached to this happening. And then I was like, oh, I'm doing it again. So is that how I want to be in my business? No. How do I want to be? Okay, well, I want to just trust that people are going to hear me and they're going to see the benefit for themselves and they're going to jump in. No more convincing, no more trying. Just literally I get to be who I am. I get to say fuck a lot and I get to show up. So that is how to be your authentic self. Start being that shot of whiskey, climb out of the box, and for the love of God, get support. I did this with almost no support and it was painful as fuck. So if you need the support, absolutely go to that link, check it out, because it's a worthwhile journey. On the other side of it, for me, I've never been loved more. I've never felt cherished more. And I fucking started that shit over here with myself. In case nobody has told you yet today, you are lovable as fuck, just the way you are. To send me your questions or stories, email me at loveableafshow@gmail.com. If you love the show, please comment, like, and subscribe if you're on YouTube. And if you're listening on the podcast, please leave a review and subscribe to help me get this show in front of more women who need to know that they are lovable as fuck, just as they are. Check out the show notes or go to belovableaf.com. That's BELOVEABLEAF.com for more of how to unfuck yourself, love yourself, and be happy no matter your size. I said it before and I will say it again. You are lovable as fuck, just as you are.